added in, tops in the SEC all to herself.
Just an incredible performance. Edwards been able to string together. Again, you can't say it enough, just as a freshman and a leader. I think it's one thing, you know, you look out there as a freshman, she can put those numbers up, but it's the student of the game part. It's the part of her work ethic. It's in the weight room. It's talking and explaining things back to her teammates.
Daniel able to get to it, make a quick flip to Edwards to retire Maloney.
Sierra Daniel doing a nice job. Usually expecting that ball to go up the middle, still being able to glove it, making it look routine.
Looked like she snow coned it there. Now here's Caden Henry entering the day, the new team leader for Texas in batting average, overtaking Maloney at .455. Just a single point better than her teammate in the outfield. Hot shot to right field, brought in by Rudity.
I think that's all about positioning. I can't believe Rudity happened to be playing so deep for your two-hole hitter, Caden Henry, but that is great defense positioning. That ball was struck well.
Backtracking, making the grab as her momentum carried her onto the warning track. Mia Scott singled in the first. This is one of those players that Coach White wants up in big moments. He told us she's got that dog in her. A fighter in the best sense. Shallow outfield. Hodge goes back from shortstop to make the catch. Quick 1-2-3 inning executed by LSU pitcher Tatum Clapton. And the Tigers, because of that result, Texas A&M now only a half game up on Texas for first place in the Southeastern Conference. Take a look at those standings with the Aggies now at 13-4, Longhorns at 12-4. Down at the bottom of this list, you see LSU, three-way tie for 8th place currently, 8-8. Same is the case for Ole Miss and Alabama. And those top 4 spots really make all the difference in this single elimination SEC tournament. Those 4 teams will get a double bye.
And I think it's pretty clear to see why you would want a double bye. But I think the other thing is just you don't want all the extra games before heading into postseason. You don't want to start beating yourselves up on some of these extra. Not that it doesn't mean anything, but you do want to be that SEC champion, of course. But want to do it with the least amount of games under your belt for sure.
Sidlali Gutierrez came on in relief with 1 out in the 3rd. Now facing Maddox McKee. Missing inside. Count is full. McKee had some great moments on this field back in her high school days. Led Lake Creek to back-to-back Texas state championships in the UIL. This time put out on a grounder to Mitchell. Those Texas high school playoffs underway next week. The road to Austin. And we'll crown more champions than we're used to in this state as the classes have been divided. Division I and Division II champions in all classes this season.
Nice. It's exciting for them to be able to come here and play right in Charlene McCombs.
Jaden Leno for LSU. Bouncing Atwood, can't glove it. Leno flied out to left. in the second. Waiting on the 1-1 offering from Gutierrez. In the left, Henry able to move and make the play. That'll lead to Sierra Daniel.
I think this would be huge for Gutierrez right now if she can get a quick 1-2-3 after last inning, settle in. Already looking like she has a little bit more command on her pitches. A little bit more sharpness, more cut on that curve. That was a good ball right there.
Nine-hole hitter, Daniel. Danica Coffey waiting on deck, hoping for an opportunity. The Tigers can turn the lineup over. Two balls, no strikes with 2 out and nobody on for LSU.
Like for Daniel, that's when she's got to get after. It's a hitter's count. You know they don't want to go 3-0, and that ball was all over the heart of the plate, belt high.
These Tigers are hunting pitches they can drive. This one a hopper over the pitcher, and Stewart can't glove it. Making her first start at shortstop this season, and Stewart allows Daniel to reach base.
You're going to see here this go right over the pitcher's head, and I feel like she's got the right beat on it. Fortunately, just can't glove it.
Here's Coffey, 0 for 2 on the day.
I think it goes without mentioning again that Katie Stewart at shortstop. Texas trying to find a different way to get the bottom half of the lineup starting to hit, get a little bit more action down there. Leanne Good having a tough time figuring out what she needs to do to be able to. She was riding an 0 for 8 skid coming into today.
And official score has granted Daniel an infield single on that last play.
Not sure about that.
Seems like a play that Stewart should make. One-two with 2 out and a runner on for LSU. Coffey right back, Gutierrez. Easy throw over to Mitchell. Reese Atwood will lead. Just a junior for Texas, already atop that leaderboard. Chris Mykoski with Megan Willis, game 2 of LSU versus Texas. Game 3 of the series is tomorrow at noon Eastern, 11 Central. You'll see that one on ESPN2.
I think second time through the order for Clapton. You've just noticed her really utilizing that off-speed pitch. She got Mia Scott to fly out. You're seeing her go. That pitch right before that was off speed, and I just think this is a really good change. You've got to change your stuff, right? After one time through the lineup, the offense is going to start making their adjustments, so you've got to try something different as well.
Able to avoid a 4-pitch walk to Atwood, the reigning D1 softball and Softball America National Player of the Year. Bounces it in, and Atwood will head down to first.
I feel like this is exactly what Texas needs, a leadoff walk here. This is what got it started for Texas. Yesterday there was a leadoff walk with Caden Henry before Mia Scott went yard. Jolie Mitchell, her last at-bat came up and ripped a double off the wall.
First pitch to Mitchell.
There's that off speed.
doubled to begin the second for Texas and came around to score. Transfer from Notre Dame, who was an all-ACC first-team selection in 2023.
Interesting move right there. I don't think anyone was expecting bunt. Mitchell well up in the box. She did this last time, had success.
Rough release point there for Clapton. Sends it well high, running the count of 3-0. This time able to put it in. Again, avoiding a 4-pitch walk. Double barrel action in the LSU bullpen. Case coach Dorina decides to make a change here with Clapton having control issues.
Yeah, and it looks like right now LSU, I mean, Clapton hasn't gotten a lot of innings in so far in SEC play. LSU has all 3 of their pitchers up and going. It looks like they're all
triple barrel.
Yeah.
The third catcher, we can only see the catchers from our viewpoint here in the press box. The third one was blocked by the bleachers.
Yeah, all 3 pitchers were up there, and I think we've watched them kind of throwing throughout the game, keeping that arm warm. But I think when you're taking a look here, 2 walks right there within 5 pitches, only threw 1 strike each time. This is a time right now for Texas. They have got to take advantage, and I feel like Texas is kind of taken a little bit to get excited again. This happened to them yesterday. First 5 innings, only 2 hits against LSU, and it wasn't until that collision there was a little spark underneath them, and Nia Scott gets this home run. But who better for Texas? Katie Stewart to come up to a bat right here with runners on. She had a double her last at bat. She's got to be patient and trust in herself here.
She represents the potential game-tying run. Longhorns trailing by 3 with nobody out. 2 runners on base. Clapton really good in midweek opportunities, some spot starts. This is only her 2nd start against an SEC opponent. Keep hitters guessing.
Yeah, will she go 3 changeups in a row?
No. Lifts it to left.
That is exactly why you throw that double change, is so that next pitch you're going to go hard. It's going to feel faster. Gets in on the hands on Stewart. That's a great job by Clapton. That is a huge out for LSU. Knowing the power behind Katie Stewart's bat, I mean, that is perfect location. Rise ball at the hands.
Saw the frustration on Stewart's face. Katie Simmons. Laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd. Free swing here with 1 out. Trying to force Clapton to put 1 in the strike zone. Inside, and Simmons hits it with a small part of the bat, foul. Two balls and a strike. Caught the inside corner.
I think when you're throwing that changeup as much as she is, you're getting Texas, I feel like right there, you're guessing a little bit. You've only seen 1. Got a curve, you went inside, I'm going to get another, and instead I got a harden in.
2-2 on the changeup. Potential double play ball. Can only get 1. Runners on the corners. for Texas. Mitchell is retired at second. And the powerful bat of Vic Hunter now with an opportunity. Sophomore who's been used sparingly this season. Gets her 11th start on the year. Walked her first time up.
And they threw her 3 changeups. I know I'm all about the changeup right now, but I do think this is a huge reason why they're keeping Texas off the board. Only 1 run so far.
0-1, fouls it off herself. Tatum Clapton put the first 2 hitters aboard this inning with walks. Now 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam. Waste 1 outside. Texas had 2 on and nobody out. In danger of wasting the opportunity. Count now even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 2 on for Texas, and Hunter grounds to Coffey at third. Over to Edwards to close out the 4th inning. Texas gets 2 on with extremely productive part of the LSU order due up, Megan. 2, 3, and 4. Lassiter, Edwards, Bazaran. They're responsible for all of LSU's runs today. 5 for 5 as a group.
Yeah, and that starts with Lassiter there. 2 for 2. She's already got a single and a double.
Lassiter into center field. Maloney backtracks to make the grab. 3rd inning after a double by Lassiter. Tori Edwards stepped up to the plate and unleashed this rocket that just cleared the wall in left.
Yeah, this is a pitch that was elevated, and you have to be careful with a hitter like Tori Edwards. Just a freshman, but leads the country, 62 RBIs, and shows us, again, why she is so powerful with that home run.
Now all alone atop the SEC RBI leaderboard. Entered the day in a 3-way tie.
Oh, she's now at 64 then. Was that the last 2 that?
Yep.
Math.
We've had to do some of that this weekend.
It's tough.
Had to quickly add 4 RBI yesterday to Reese Atwood's total on the walk-off grand slam. She continues to pad her resume, the best in Longhorn history to drive runners home. Edwards may be the best in LSU history when all is said and done. This time she grounds out.
Well, if you're Sitlali Gutierrez, you got to breathe a little easier. You were able to get through Lassiter and Edwards there. It's not done yet, but just looking back at how this game's gone, you've got to be able to relax just
Absolutely.
a little bit more.
And Bazaran again will face a shift from the Texas infield as Bennett moves over to the left of second base from our perspective.
Texas still going to throw her outside.
Scott at third, Stewart at short, and Bennett, the second baseman, has moved to that side of the infield as well. Tag team, Edwards and Bazaran. Yesterday, just 1 of 8. And today, look at the turnaround. 4 of 5, and responsible for so much of LSU's production. Big reason why the Tigers lead this 4-1. Two-one pitch from Gutierrez.
And really, it was just switching the two of them. Yesterday, Tori Edwards was in the 4-hole. Today, they moved her up to 3, and it's all it took. Sometimes it's just that easy.
Putting her aboard on 5 pitches. Leads to Mackenzie Rudity, who did not play yesterday. Tigers were missing her big bat. 342 average with 36 runs batted in. That was the first game all season that she did not start. Beth Torina keeping it in-house, not letting us know why she wasn't playing, simply that she wasn't available, but that she would return to the lineup on Friday.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we're not sure what it was, but you know that they missed her yesterday. They needed that extra bat. Especially, again, coming off of such a hard weekend at A&M. They're looking to get back in that win column.
1-2 the count from Gutierrez to Rudity. Two out. Bazaron on first. Gutierrez uses a foul ball. Rudity is the active home run leader for LSU, 16 on her career. Takes that one inside.
Good location right there. I feel like that went right over her knee. Must have been a little bit inside.
The 2-2. Now full. Full count with 2 out. Runner on first, LSU leading by 3. Got her swinging. Rudity now 0 for 3 on the day as Gutierrez leaves Bazaron stranded at
Stewart, 62 RBIs on the season. That is not who I would want to face after just walking 2, and she gets her to fly out on a easy fly ball and takes care of the rest.
This is the kind of environment that Clapton wanted to experience again. You go through all that work to get back from a shoulder injury. Kept you out for 2 seasons. That takes so much dedication to get back to this level. And now pitching in front of a sold-out crowd in a top 10 matchup against the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, I think before those injuries too, she's been to the World Series. She knows what it feels like. She wants to get her team back and finally healthy enough and starting to build back the strength to get more and more innings and more starts.
KD Bennett, who also has a fantastic arc in her story. Didn't think she was going to play college softball. Now playing on the highest level for Texas. Grounds out to Hodge.
Center fielder.
Back to the top of the Longhorn order, Thrashed and Maloney. Maloney struck out in the first, grounded to second base in the third. Her Texas team winning its 40th game of the season yesterday. That's now 6 consecutive seasons of 40 or more wins. Here's that Texas red-hot batting order. 5 players above 500.
Top 5 hitters here, too. It's just incredible. And right now, Clapton making easy work of it, quite frankly. This is his 3rd time through the lineup. You see numbers like that, you expect these hitters to come up with a different approach, a different plan. Ashton Maloney 0 for 2 already. This is the time she needs to bear down. And someone who can, again, you just saw the numbers, very capable.
Missing in.
But I think that just goes to tell you how well Tatum Clapton's throwing today. And it has everything to do with that off speed, not afraid to throw it at any count, multiple times through an at-bat, and then cut that riser hard and in, just like that. And it makes it look that much faster after keeping those off speeds. But she's been able to throw that rise ball both sides of the plate. And, oh, yeah, she's got the curveball. So I just think she has such command today of that. And the pitch calling has just been incredible.
Here's the 3-2. Shallow center coming on. It's Lassiter. Lassiter was playing in. Only reason she was able to get to that one. Caden Henry with 2 out. First, Beth Torina will make a trip out to see Clapton. You rave about Clapton's performance today, and one good thing can lead to another for LSU, getting that confidence up, building towards the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I mean, even yesterday, it was a turn of events there in the 6th and 7th for Texas to be able to pull that one out. But before that, I think LSU had command of the game. And just to start the game today, they came out hot. They came out and scored 2 in that first inning. And I feel like you're right on the edge, right? You're right. You can see it even against A&M. The way that their offense battled back with some of those games, I feel like they can taste it. They are so close, and the numbers they put up are incredible, but it's games like this they need to be able to hold on to. You have to be able to have Clapton finish this inning. Defense has got to have her back, and I think that was one thing, maybe a conversation there. So I'm not sure why else you would call a timeout right there. It's not like no one was rattled.
Right.
Unless there was something she needed to say about Caden Henry. It's just, again, making sure her team's nice and relaxed.
1-1 the count to Henry. Tigers coming off a sweep at the hands of Texas A&M. First time that had happened to LSU since March of 2023 when they were swept by Tennessee. Coach Torina telling us that they just could not seem to put it all together in any one of those 3 games. Finally starting to do that, it appears, in Game 2 against Texas. The 1-2 to Daniel. And on to Edwards for the 3rd out. Tatum Clapton with a 1-2-3 inning for the 2nd time to 7-4. Also, another highlight yesterday was Tennessee walking it off against Auburn. Taylor Pannell with a 2-run homer to beat the Tigers. A couple of walk-offs yesterday in the SEC, as we also had one here in Austin, as the Longhorns had the first walk-off grand slam in program history to beat LSU.
I'm loving the parity. I love that you get into this SEC play.
Hodge grounds out to Scott.
You know, I feel like, especially with the addition of Texas and OU to the SEC, OU for the last 4 years, so dominant. And now you get them in the mix, and you're watching them lose a couple games. They've lost more games than they have in the past couple years ever during conference play. So I think it's just going to make this postseason that much more interesting. Non-SEC play, I know I've been talking to you about it, that Arizona-Texas Tech series happening right now. Arizona took that one, where you have reigning National Player of the Year.
Nyjah Kennedy, who we saw here in Austin.
Yeah, Nyjah. And you just think about it, Texas Tech's number 14 right now, Arizona's 13. Arizona takes that. Are you going to bump Texas Tech down and as we're talking postseason and everyone beating themselves up, if Texas Tech doesn't host a regional, that means they're getting sent to a regional. That means Niger Kennedy is being sent to a regional, which is just going to make it crazy. I think that's why we call it mayhem.
I'll be locked into the whip around coverage. I hope our friend Chris Budden is back anchoring that this year. Always fun to see all of the action from around the country on regional weekend. Get these looks from my wife and kids when I'm sitting there watching. How many games are you watching right now? Oh, they're in a 6-box.
Yeah.
They've got 6 of them up right now. I can understand what's going on in all of them, sure. Even get the octo box sometimes. 8 at a time.
I can't do that. I can only focus maybe 2 at a time. It's like I like the red zone for softball.
That's what we get on ESPN Plus throughout that opening weekend of the tournament. 3-1 the count to Leno. 0 for 2 on the day. Missing away. Walked on 5 pitches. Sierra Daniel will have a chance at the bottom of the LSU order to pad this lead that currently stands at 4-1. Daniel robbed of a hit in the second as a sliding Henry came on to make the play in left and then singled in the 4th inning.
Yeah, after Bazaran, Sierra Daniel's the only one at the bottom half of the lineup that's been able to put up another hit. It'd be big for her to be able to keep this inning going and get to top of the lineup for Coffee.
To the right side of the infield for Mitchell, who will apply the tag for the 3rd out. Tigers only able to get a walk, unable to muster any other offense. We'll head to the bottom. Texas, as the Tigers played 3 in College Station last weekend against the Aggies and never left Lone Star State. Decided to spend an extra day in College Station before making their way to San Marcos for a couple of days, and then coming down to Austin prior to the beginning of this series. Scott takes the off-speed pitch from Clapton. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but one of the activities for LSU during this extended stay in Texas was to go to a smash room.
Yeah.
They didn't want to go to one of those puzzle rooms trying to solve how to get out.
Escape
the
room.
escape room. Yeah. Instead, put on the glasses, put on the hard hats, grab a mallet, and break things.
But you had to ask, like, oh, well, that's one way to get over the A&M sweep. She's like, no, we actually had this one planned, but it kind of worked in our favor. The girls got out there. We got to smash some cars even.
2-2, liner stabbed by Lassiter.
It's a great job by Lassiter in center field. That ball was dying. Yes, it was on a line drive, but not quite as sharp, and I think you kind of had a little drop ball action, so great job for her being able to nose that one in.
Just outside one of the horns in the center field logo. Lassiter able to bring it in. Now Atwood struck out in the 1st, walked in the 4th, and was left stranded at 3rd base. Pops it up in the infield. Daniel calls for the ball.
And that's that off speed again. I think being able to throw it, I think that first time through the lineup, you didn't see it as much. Second time, she was starting a lot of the at-bats with it, using it a second time, sometimes back-to-back, and now I feel like you're seeing her throw it just about at any point. You're guaranteed to get two in an at-bat.
Mitchell doubled to lead off the second. Came in to score the Longhorns' only run today.
Yeah, and you know what? I'd love to, and I probably will shoot Coach Singleton, Steve Singleton, the hitting coach for Texas, a message. She is the only batter, Jolie Mitchell, to be up in the box, and I feel like this is an approach that is so strong for a pitcher like Clapton. And why I say that is it takes away the curveball away. If you're up, that curveball won't break away, so you can attack that. I think you can either get the read of that rise ball a little bit quicker or get your barrel there before it goes over your bat. And she's also had success, so I do think that this is something that's working really well for her. I'd like to see some righties make some adjustments here, third time through.
Clapton walks her on 5 pitches. Fourth walk issued by Clapton today. As we saw yesterday from Sydney Berzon, this is not an overpowering pitcher who's going to rack up a ton of strikeouts. Off the glove of Coffey, and that's a fair ball as Mitchell makes her way to third base. Stewart gets to second. Longhorns have something going with 2 out in the 6th.
That's a great adjustment right there by Katie Stewart. Her last at-bat, she got jammed up on that high and in pitch. This time, first pitch, they go back inside. She opens up that step and able to rip it right down third base line. Her second double of the day, but big key right there is she opened up her front step so she could clear her hips.
Off the glove of Coffey. And over into foul territory, allowing Mitchell to come to third. Stewart advances to second. Texas has struggled with runners in scoring position today. You see it there, just 1 of 5. Simmons the potential game-tying run. Longhorns trail by 3.
You're going to see Clapton live outside, throw that change just where Simmons is sitting, off the plate and open. Or not. They're going to go with the drop in. Good hold there.
3 balls and a strike. First base open for Simmons. She'll occupy it now. Mike White calling for time to discuss this at bat with Vic Hunter. Hunter, no stranger to coming up big in clutch moments. Bottom of the 6th, NCAA Super Regionals against Texas A&M. Clubbed a grand slam. Also had a pinch hit homer in UT's win over Baylor in the Big 12 Championship semifinals.
See, Coach Trina looking over to that. Yep, they're going to make a change here.
Clapton is done for the day.
I think this is a good move right here. Sydney Berzon coming in. She was so strong yesterday against Texas. Vic Hunter has not faced her.
Here's a look at Clapton's day. Of course, she is still responsible for the 3 runners on base through 5 2/3 innings. Again, not overpowering stuff, just 2 strikeouts, inducing a lot of ground balls. Gives up 4 hits in total and just 1 Texas run so far. Remember, again, she is responsible for the 3 runners on base. And Sydney Berzon back in the circle after starting yesterday. Her resume, impressive to say the least. A 2-time All-American.
Yeah, and yesterday, just the line that she was able to put up those first 5 innings against Texas, that's what she's going to hold on to, right? She only gave up 2 hits in those 5 innings, and I think that's where you're going to watch her. Texas, on the other hand, they're not keeping with Vic Hunter. You're going to have a pinch hitter. Kigora is going to come up here too, so someone who at least had an at-bat. I think that was the big thing. I thought that was a great move by Coach Beth Torina to make the change there, knowing Vic Hunter hadn't faced Berzon, and all of a sudden Texas, little chess match game going on here. They're going to go ahead and put in a new batter as well.
Vanessa Quiroga will step in from the left side.
I love that. Danica Coffey, when she goes, we go. She is definitely the leader of this team. Sydney calls her the leader of this team. And you saw it right there, the way she was able to hype her pitcher up.
First pitch from Berzon. Jolie Mitchell at third. Katie Stewart at second. Katie Simmons at first. Quiroga at the plate, the senior from Corpus Christi Carroll. Handled by Hodge, flip to Daniel to get the third out. Longhorns leave them loaded. LSU survives that 6th inning and still LSU, and that's still where we stand now as we begin the 7th. Coffey leading things off. That one just foul.
You just can't say enough about the performance by Tatum Clapton. I think knowing it was just her 2nd start, you're going up against a number 3 Texas, a team that's been number 1 on and off all season, against the number 1 hitting team in the SEC. That's the performance. That's the Clapton LSU expected before the injuries. And so nice to have that back, and what a time to have that back in the middle of this grind coming off of A&M Texas. They go to Florida next week, so talk about going through the top SEC hitting teams. You just saw them. You get through that, I feel like you're kind of sitting easy. You know where to take a look at your pitching staff. What do we have to get through once we get to postseason? And it is definitely getting through that A&M Texas and Florida hitting.
Well, thankfully for their sake, the Florida Gators will come to Baton Rouge
that's
next
helpful.
weekend.
That is helpful.
Then have to go back on the road one more time at Arkansas before heading to the SEC tournament in Athens, Georgia. 3-2 pitch coming to Coffey. Right at Gutierrez. Texas can't finish the play as Bennett took it off the deflection. Gutierrez waving off anybody on the athletic training staff. She's okay.
That was a good pitch. Outside corner. Coffey just doing an even better job being able to stay on it, drive it up the middle. Luckily, Gutierrez is fine.
First pitch to Lassiter. That goes down as a single, that rocket off of Gutierrez. Now Lassiter, who singled in the first, doubled in the third, coming home to score both times. Potential double play ball from Stewart to Bennett. No, they won't even get a single out here. As Stewart backed up to make the play, couldn't get it to Bennett in time to retire the lead runner.
That's all about the speed of Danica Coffey. She's at the top of the lineup for a reason there, but you see where this ball takes Stewart, and I don't think there's no time wasted. That is absolutely the speed of Coffey, and this is where it gets tough. This is LSU. This is where all the damage has been done. Is the 2, 3, 4 hitters right now, and 2 runners on. Got Tori Edwards up. I mean, this has to be what the conversation's about right now. Patty Ruth Taylor coming out to chat with her pitcher and probably talking, you know, like, we do have an open bag here. Tori Edwards has already gone yard once today. Hard to say that. I mean, I think you would maybe take your chance with Bazaron. She got her out the last inning, though, too. So I think it's just more about, hey, we got to hit our corners here. If you walk her, you walk her.
And Edwards knows exactly what she's doing against Gutierrez. Beth Torina called her the most prepared hitter that the Tigers have. She has a plan for everybody and understands how to execute it. Total package for LSU. You touched on it many times, Megan. Such a great student of the game. Only one home run to go for Edwards to tie atop this leaderboard. Home runs by a first-year player in this storied LSU program.
Yeah, and just the way that she's swinging, and I think she's going to get to that and then some.
And she'll take a walk here. Bases full of Tigers with nobody out for the cleanup hitter, Macy Bazaron. A career year for Bazaron, looking to add to it. If you're thinking potential grand slam, Bazaron has 9 homers this year. See that added together with Tori Edwards, 25 between that twosome. Grounder through the right side. That scores Coffey, and Lassiter's heading home as well. LSU plates 2 more. Bazaron will be retired as she heads to second base, but she delivers 2 runs batted in, and LSU increases its lead to 6-1.
It's a great piece of hitting by Bazaron right there. She gets a pitch on the outside part of the plate and just pokes it to the right side. She's not even getting it on the full barrel, but where Texas is playing, they're playing in to get that force at home. Because of that, there's no chance Bennett's going to be able to get that. Texas, luckily, able to get that out at second. Bazaron trying to take 2. I don't think that throw needs to go all the way to 3, but it doesn't come back to hurt Texas.
Michaela Walker will pinch hit for Mackenzie Rudity here. This LSU fan has been walking back and forth, trying to get a rise out of the Texas fans.
He's everywhere. Saw him in College Station, too. He travels with the team.
All smiles from security right now. We saw the chippiness between the teams yesterday. We don't want that spilling over into the stands. Gutierrez will head out. Texas will make a change in the circle.